Sometimes karma's a little late, but she always comes around. Today on Our Space, do beautiful people really get away with murder? Or was karma just taking the scenic route? Up first, this OP starts to question why his daughter shares his brother's same blue eyes. Looks like his brother has been hanging around too close to home. My wife of 22 years cheated on me with my brother 17 years ago. Not even sure where to start this story. My wife and I dated all of high school and went to college together. We have literally been each other's everything since we were 14. We were each other's firsts. We married at 20 and had a kid at 23. We scratched our way up to the middle class from literally nothing. It could be an understatement to say that our lives are so intertwined that separating would be catastrophic for both of us. I love this woman with every fiber of my being, which makes this betrayal so much more difficult. Fast forward a few years to 2006, when our daughter is 2 years old. My brother, 5 years older than me, is recently divorced from his wife. He was trying to get back on his feet, so I wanted to help in any way I could. I offered him our spare room for as long as he needed it. We cooked for him, cleaned up behind him, and helped him get his life together. After a few months, I noticed that he and my wife were buddying up a lot more than normal. I started noticing things that didn't quite sit right. I'm yada-ing a lot of details, but eventually they started texting all the time and talking on the phone when he wasn't at our house. I knew there was something going on, but every time I brought it up, I was made to feel like a jealous idiot. After a while, there was little to no attempt to hide it. I went into a dark spiral of depression. The only thing that kept me going was my daughter. This went on for several months. One day, I finally checked my wife's phone and saw that they had been sexting. My world absolutely fell apart. Trying to be the bigger person, I called them both together for a sit-down. They both agreed that nothing had ever been physical. They looked into my eyes and swore to me that the sexting was the extent of the affair. I swallowed my pride and tried to forgive in an effort to keep my family together. I would not hesitate to say that this incident broke my brain. I have suffered from severe depression and anxiety as a direct result of this betrayal. Fast forward 17 years to present day. My wife and I have had another child. Our lives are finally becoming comfortable. Life is good. On some idle Wednesday, my wife and I were talking and I caught her in a small lie. After needing her for hours, she finally admitted to kissing, snuggling, basically dry humping, over-the-clothes fondling, sending nudes, and phone sex. My life seemed to fall apart worse than it did 15 years ago. I called my entire life into question, including the fatherhood of my second daughter. She has his blue eyes. I spoke with my brother and let him know that I had my wife's side of the story, but now I needed his. Based on how they matched up, would decide on how drastically I would take this. I used everything in my power to interrogate him for hours. For the most part, their stories lined up. There was a lot of, I don't remember, from both of them, though. I highly doubt that it is something easily forgotten. I let him know that we were done and to never contact anyone in my family again. During the interrogation, I caught them in a lie about when the affair ended. They had promised me that the affair had ended back when I caught them the first time 17 years ago. However, through some Sherlock-level observations, I proved that their affair kept going after I caught them. This devastated me. I was so fragile, betrayed, and broken, I considered just ending it so many times. And she knew this. They both did. It kills me to know that I was so close to ending myself and she couldn't keep herself from him. Fast forward a month. After catching my wife in more lies, her entire story unraveled and she admitted to having sex with him while she was at a work conference. She claims that this only happened once and that it was very awkward because he couldn't maintain an erection. She said she faked an orgasm he finished, and then he immediately left. According to her, they never had any more physical contact, and my brother married another woman and has been with her ever since. I may be a fool, but I am confident that the affair ended about 6 months after I caught them the first time. I don't know if I should believe that she has been faithful ever since. So anyways, here I sit. I have been married to this woman that I adore for 22 years. Our entire lives are woven together, so much that I question if either of us can function without the other. I feel betrayed all over again. My wife is telling me that she lied to me to save our marriage, and that I can't hold her responsible for dumb things she did 17 years ago. I'm really trying to make peace with this, but I don't have a clue where to go from here. Is it worth ruining my life and decimating my family to teach my wife a lesson about something she did 17 years ago? Am I just being an idiot for believing her? I honestly don't know, but I feel that dark abyss of depression slowly creeping back to the front of my mind. It frankly scares the hell out of me, and I don't know where to go from here. I am trying to maintain some semblance of normality for my youngest daughter. She has 4 years of high school left, so my plan right now is to move into our basement for the next 4 years. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I don't feel like a man. I have lost all confidence in myself. I just feel like some useless weakling that can't stand up for himself and has been made a fool of time and time again. Please help me, anonymous strangers of Reddit. Ask for help. The community will respond. First response says, you can't hold her responsible for something she did 17 years ago? What? Come on. This is someone who isn't remorseful and wants you to move on and forget about it. That's what you're dealing with, and that sucks. That's not love. The next person says, you absolutely can and should hold her responsible for having an affair with your brother and almost driving you to suicide. You can and should hold her responsible for gaslighting and the lies and the cheating. She's calling what she did dumb. It's actually abusive. And she's still remorseless now. Update. Everything went sideways this morning. I caught her on another lie and she finally admitted that they had sex multiple times in Fleabag Highway motels while I was away for work, just like so many of you said. So slight change in plans. I have a lawyer. My daughters both know. Her family knows. She's moving to the basement until alternative arrangements can be made. I will be keeping the house. Thank you all for your kind words and support. Update 2. I'm doing a little better. My brother still refuses to respond to me. I'm pretty sure that he blocked my number. So, I decided to tell his wife, his ex-wife, his daughter, my niece, as many of his friends as I knew, and his employer. If I can't have my pound of flesh, I will spread my chaos in his world. Despite not having anyone to turn to, I feel like I am in a better place. I honestly thank all you anonymous internet strangers for giving me the pickup I needed. Out of the posts and replies, I don't think I got a single negative one. That speaks to all of your quality and caliber. This will probably be my last update. I promise I will pay it forward. Nah, I'm so sorry, OP. This isn't easy. No one should ever make you feel like you don't belong here anymore. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that. These are two people who are supposed to love you and be there for you and support you unconditionally. It doesn't matter if it happened 6 months ago, 6 years ago, or 16 years ago. It happened and she needs to take responsibility for her actions. Honestly, the fact that you feel like you're in a better place speaks volumes. This has obviously weighed you down for years. And now that the truth is out, you can finally free yourself from it all. I'm sorry this shakes up your entire world, but you know you'll be okay. You deserve to have someone who loves you just as much as you love them. Not someone who will run into the arms of another. Wishing you all the best, OP. You're so strong and you have our support. What would you do? Would you have stayed after initially finding out? Why or why not? Next up, OP tries to live with some serious scars. I wish I believed there was karma for my cheating ex. I'm tired of the nightmares of her with him, years after the fact. But it seems like there are never any consequences for attractive people like her that cheat and lie for their own convenience. I hope one day, somehow, she hurts in the same way she destroyed me. Bites some of the darkest depression, lives with the emotional trauma, and the way it scars a person. Lives hypervigilant for the next kick to her ribs years on end, waking up crying, feels empty and unwanted. I'm tired of the BS about being a better man. I'm hurt. I'm mad. I'm tired of pretending I don't have those emotions when my attempts to trust got me betrayed and abandoned by the person I cared about most. She lied. She broke the trust and social contract of our relationship after years of love and support. But the world works differently for attractive people. There will always be someone to pat her ego or make excuses about how it wasn't her fault. I'm just exhausted. Let's see how the community reacts to this one. First up, it happens eventually, especially as they get older. My first ex-wife was very beautiful, but after years of drinking, smoking, a few more kids, another divorce and age, she doesn't look like she used to. We've been divorced for over 13 years and she reached out to me recently to tell me that it was all my fault. That she married a narcissist who ruined her life, had 2 kids with him, and all sorts of things. If I had been patient with her, then we'd still be happy together. But I ruined it all. Ha ha. Next person says, part of the problem is the image they sculpt of themselves to present to everyone. You'll likely never know when her fallout happens. She's not going to air out her misfortunes across social media or discuss them with people. When she gets rejected, she'll spin the narrative that it was her who rejected him. This is why they say the best revenge is to live your best life. She'll see what you're up to, or she'll get an update from mutual friends, or she'll cross paths with you one day and see you happy and successful and regret walking away from that. The difference is that your success and happiness will be real and not a production like hers. The next person says, she is not going to hurt the same way because she doesn't love the same way. She loves people the way we love things or possessions. They are just an extension of their happiness, like a car or something. It's how they do it. Love is not profound to them. There is no loyalty or long-term meaning. There's no bond. They can't become one with someone else. It's just about the feels. Their feels. That also means they don't feel the profound nature of having someone love them the way you did. The true closeness and bonding, She will always be searching for the next feel, but will never understand the part of love that makes you greater than just yourself. The part where you know you're not alone. That is their karma, and it's worse than anything else. To live your life never really understanding the potential of love and of loving someone and its effect on who you are as a person is to live your life in black and white. Don't look for any other karma. This is enough. It's pitiable. Now here's the deal. You can get over this, but you have to take ownership of your sadness and discipline your mind. As you write, it's been years. You have to have the courage to let go and start hoping for better things in your future. As long as you choose to believe the lie that she was your only path to happiness, you're going to suffer. If my words above are true, how could she have even been a good choice? Why are you still mourning over that? Maybe, just maybe, you will find better. There are people who love like you and I do. Look at all of them on this board. That means you can find someone like that. Wow, there's so much truth in these comments. Everything catches up to everyone eventually. And the fact that they wear a mask for others is entirely true. 9 times out of 10, beautiful people end up looking really ugly when their personality is revealed. Someone can be absolutely breathtaking on the outside, but have the stinkiest of insides. Karma exists for them. You just can't see it on the surface. They get theirs in the end. You can count on that. Update. Sucker punched by a chance encounter. It's been years since my ex cheated on me with her coworker. She ran around behind my back for months with him. She broke down and admitted it after gaslighting me when I expressed concerns for months. She love-bombed me, promised it wouldn't happen again. When I tried to forgive her, she went right back to him, finally leaving me for him and destroying 10 years of our relationship and leading me into a deep depression I didn't see a way out of. Every excuse to justify her affair and how I wasn't there. How her new exciting life was worth more than being a partner to me as I reached my goals. Therapy, antidepressants, her actions changed me. It made me numb to the world. It killed a part of me I loved. I still have nightmares several times a month, though. I know how to ground myself when I wake up. I ran into her parents tonight at a hardware store. The people I loved and wanted to be a part of their family and have them be a part of mine. It hit me like a train. All that was said was a passing, "Hi." Their silence towards me since she left has been profoundly telling. Don't you think care for you leave you at the drop of the hat? I understand she's their daughter. They didn't force her to cheat, but they abandoned me so easily. It makes me feel small and worthless all over again. I'm objectively doing better in my life. In graduate school for my doctorate. I help people for a living. I've quite literally helped save lives. But I suspect I bury myself in my work. I even have avoided looking into her life for many years since a mutual friend had her as a bridesmaid. But seeing them tonight brings it all back. The life I wanted with a person I loved. Something I haven't felt since she broke my heart and threw me away. Something I haven't found since I threw away my self-esteem when I tried to forgive her, only to be abandoned for her fling and butterflies. It doesn't matter. I'm talking into the void. There's no karma or justice for people like her. Meanwhile, I feel like people judge me for still being affected by what she did. I'm struggling not to look into her life again. I deserve better from her. I deserve to not feel a low-grade fear of abandonment in every relationship outside my immediate family. I deserve to sleep without seeing her in bed with him in my nightmares. Let's check back in with the community for a couple of comments. OP, you're not weak or worthless. She lied and cheated on you. She's the human trash, not you. I'm so sorry she did that to you. One day, she will be a footnote in your history, a precursor to a much better love story. Keep your chin up, King. Next person says, some people are incapable of real love. They're always looking for some new place, person, thing to make them okay. They're trying to fix an interior problem with an exterior solution. The truth is, they're miserable human beings because nothing ever really fills them up, and they don't have the self-awareness to fix the real problem, which of course is them. DOP responds, I do believe that. Since being cheated on, I have spent a lot of time looking at ethics and schools of thought around why what cheaters do is so fundamentally wrong. It is more than just the act. It is the utter disregard for the relationship that they betray. They destroy the concept of honesty and trust between their partner and their selfish desires. Thanks for listening. One more person chimes in. There may not be an immediate or even a passing sense of karma for them or you, but just know that people like her and a fair partner, they never change. They both traded in for less and have wound up with each other. 2 liars, 2 cheaters, 2 manipulators together. I'm sure each of them will portray their bad choices as true love and meant to be, but it's not real, man. It's a mirage. It's what they want the world to see as they grapple with their reality behind the curtain they've put up. They're both dealing with trust issues. Each one will assume the other is cheating because both of them engaged in it with 0 remorse. There's no trust. If he was able to do that with me, he will do that to me. And if she was able to cheat on him, She will cheat on me. You're in graduate school for your doctorate. You're still on the path, and she has not been successful at destroying your trajectory. That's some karma right there. She gets the crap end of the stick, and you are unwaveringly seeking more and putting your best out there. She didn't deserve the success you will have. What you will gain will far surpass what she could have ever provided you in return. As long as you continue to put your best out into the world, you'll find yourself in places you could have never imagined. You'll find yourself around and with people who are in so much different and so much better than her, that someday you'll wonder why you ever bothered with her to begin with. She'll fade into a distant memory as your new happiness arrives, and then you'll understand why things happen the way they do. And then after some time, you may see her karma coming around to her, and you'll just be glad that you are no longer a part of the mess she made. And you'll be glad that she inadvertently led you to your life as you know it and love it. At least, that's what I hope for you. Keep it together, and do what you're doing for those you're helping. This is how beautiful stories begin. There couldn't be more truth than what was stated in these comments. People like your ex never change. They are dealing with so much that is hidden under the surface, but it comes out and is projected onto those they claim to love. I think a lot of times they feel as though they don't deserve happiness or to be happy, and they want to destroy happiness when they see it because they're so unhappy with themselves. Hence why she broke your heart, and you don't have to be okay immediately after experiencing what you did. You don't even have to be okay with it years later. Healing takes time. Healing, to some degree, means to be in a constant state of mourning and to allow the emotions to come into the surface. Moreover, I think you've gained far more than she ever could. Continue to grow, OP. We're rooting for you. What do you think? Do you think attractive people get away with murder? Let us know in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on Our Space. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you next time.